12th time in 15 meetings this season, including all 8 in front of a home crowd. Now, they look to finish off the 4-game sweep and get one step closer to the first-place Mets.
Beautiful Sunday for baseball. Temperature good, humidity down a little bit. Michael A. Taylor, hey, they're finally going to give him another at-bat in this series after what he did the other night. And Harper MVP, it is becoming a topic of conversation around here, as it should be around Major League Baseball, because as the Nats look for this sweep here, Bryce is in the middle of everything, and his numbers probably better in all departments than anybody out there.
You'd think so. I mean, what he's done this year has been MVP caliber, and especially if the Nats pull this off, I think it's a done deal. But some work left to be done for Bryce Harper. And when you're having a storybook season, wouldn't you know that your 500th career hit would be a home run number 33 for Bryce Harper? We were looking it up before the game today. Miguel Cabrera is the only player to lead either league in batting average and home run in a single season since 1970. Bryce Harper with 33 home runs. Nolan Arenado, Cargo both have 36. So he has a chance to do something that hasn't been done a long time. The RBIs looks like a long shot for him, the Triple Crown. But the MVP definitely in play, and the home runs and batting average title definitely in play.
Under 23 years of age, a chance to join an unbelievable list of major leaguers, and most of them in the Hall of Fame. So in this series, Bryce is 5 out of 7, couple of home runs, 3 walks. He has actually 3 RBIs. He's walked 6 times. He scored 8 runs, and right now he's already over 100 runs. Couple of weeks left in the season.
Yeah, Manny Banuelos, a left-hander on the mound today for the Braves. We'll see if he has anything to do with Bryce Harper. You know, Escobar now hitting 4th. Ryan Zimmerman scratched with some plantar fasciitis issues. I'd be surprised if Bryce sees anything to hit today.
All right, Banuelos pretty good against the Nats first time around. Joe Ross, this is the first time around for him and the Braves, and we know that that was very uncharacteristic in St. Louis, walking those guys. He had walked as many as 4 only once, and never more than 2 before that. So if Joe's back on his game today, it could be a sweep for the Nats.
On Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. gorgeous day. We've got some breeze blowing into the ballpark. Some air actually moving around here. A little bit of it coming over from over the scoreboard in right center field. So really mostly clear skies, 83 degrees. Look at that humidity down to 35%. It's a day to be comfortable at the yard. The Braves, last in the big leagues in runs and in home runs. A.J. Pierzynski, great stat on him, by the way. 389 career doubles. That is number 6 all time among major league catchers, with names like Pudge, Ted Simmons, Carlton Fisk in front of him. He's done a great job for the Braves at the age of 38 this year. Here's Joe Ross against Nick Markakis. First pitch, and just like he did last night, Markakis fouls one to left. Last night it was caught, this one out of play, and we're underway at 135.
That 35% humidity we just showed you might be a big factor in today's game. Joe Ross didn't get a grip on the ball last start in St. Louis, and he walked 6. Low humidity, should get a good grip, and you're hoping, if you're Matt Williams, that he throws more strikes today. But how many times have you seen a game this year where both starting pitchers lasted just 2 2/3 innings their last starts? Goes for Manny Banuelos too.
And that was against Miami in a 7-1 loss. Markakis locked up. It is a swing, says the crew chief Jerry Meals over at third base. Andy Fletcher, 17-year veteran, has the plate. Clint Fagan at first, Paul Emmel at second. And Markakis out to left center. That ball's well hit. Michael A. Taylor can't get it. Carries to the wall on a hop. And Nick Markakis stinging that one. That's only his second hit of the series in 11 at-bats.
My day games are so tricky for outfielders. Michael Taylor kind of came in on this ball. His first step was in. I don't know if he catches it, if he gets a good jump on it. Short hop the fence in left center. But watch Taylor, top of your screen. He jab steps in and tries to make up for it. If that ball short hops the fence, I don't think he gets it either way. Tough to see in day games with the glare behind the plate if you're an outfielder on a low line drive.
Jace Peterson was to bat 6 today, but Hector Oliveira, a left foot problem, scratched out of the lineup about an hour ago. And they moved Peterson from 6th up to 2nd. Nats have pitched him well in this series. Freddie Gonzalez ball club trying to bust up an 11-game losing streak, losing 18 of 19 and 12 in a row on the road. It's a 1-1 ball game in Miami, by the way. And a bunt straight back to the screen by Peterson.
Set the defense for the Nats behind Joe Ross today. Worth, Taylor, Harper, your outfield. Desmond Escobar, left side of the infield. Rendon, Tyler Moore, right side of the infield. And Wilson Ramos behind the plate. Tyler Moore getting the start. Ryan Zimmerman with some plantar fasciitis flare-up issues, taking the day off. Getting ready for that big game tomorrow against the Mets.
1 ball, 1 strike. Escobar on the grass at third. Upstairs didn't miss by much, 2-1. In that game, Cespedes is 12, but then the Marlins came back. We'll keep you posted. They're running about a half hour ahead of us. Change up a beauty.
You see the off speed. Good slider from Joe Ross. You see the rotation, the late movement right underneath the bat of Jace Peterson. Good pitch.
Here's the 2-2. Rendon 1 step onto the grass, right side. And Peterson will pop it up over there. Tyler Moore will say Rendon can have it. 1 out and a big out. Freddie Freeman coming next. Bryce Harper, 100 runs. He has scored 20 against the Braves. How about that? And the guy with the most runs in all of baseball, Josh Donaldson, 104. Manny Banuelos, kind of like Shelby Miller, not getting any run support, and Shelby the loser here last night. And then Joe Ross, almost 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. In the top 4 among National League rookies. Freddie Freeman in this series, 6 for 9 with 4 walks. Yeah, he's been on base. Actually 4 for 8. Pardon me, not 6 for 9. Been on base a bunch. The Nats always concerned about him, and there's why. If it's fair, it's gone, and it's just to the right of the pole.
He made the call. Did you see that? Foul ball. He caught it, made the call. Nice going. And you see the location. Wilson Ramos wanted away. It was right into Freddie Freeman's turbo zone. He's trying to use some body English right there to keep it fair. A little ricochet back. Just a designer strike.
All these Atlanta hitters now seeing Joe for the first time.
Well, when you have your first real rough one as a young pitcher, that first inning is so important of your next start. To realize that, hey, that was just a blip on the radar screen. My stuff plays. I can throw strikes again, all that stuff. Check a bunch of boxes early, get that confidence level right back to where it was. So the first right now for Joe Ross, I think bigger than most first innings.
First base open. If you walk Freddie Freeman, it's not the worst thing. And he goes down low. But one of the reasons Freddie Freeman hasn't driven in any runs in the series, the Nats have walked him at times. That's 5.
Where was this? Pretty good pitch.
It was a strike for a while, wasn't it?
A strike, still a strike.
2 on 1 out. A.J. Pierzynski, the hitter. Double play guy if you can get him to hit it on the ground. 16 of them this year. Had the day off yesterday. Couple of hits and RBI, hit by a pitch in the series. And Joe Ross gets in by him out near the outside half. Solid numbers, and over his last 4 games, he's 5 for 15.
See, this first inning, much different than about a week or so ago. When your offense is struggling, you got first and second on the top of the first. As a pitcher, you're thinking, I mean, you're pitching like it's the bottom of the 7th or the top of the 7th. Now, hopefully, you're a little more relaxed knowing that your offense is going well.
0-2 in the air. Jason Worth approaching the line. Right into fair territory at the end of that. And a big second out for Joe Ross. Jason kind of bouncing back and forth between right and left these days. And we'll see guys checking the sun all day long here. Rice back and right.
Sunglasses. Check. And sun right in Jason's glasses.
Nick Swisher is next. Got hits his last 2 times up last night. So in the series, 3 for 8. Has driven in a couple. And Ross with a good 92 low in the zone to get ahead. Hammered to right. Base hit. Harper charging. Coming home, Markakis. The throw is a good one, but it's late. And then Joe Ross backing up, but the throw gets away enough, and Ross couldn't pick it up. And Swisher will end up at second base, so somebody will get an error for that extra 90 feet. 1-0 Atlanta.
I'll tell you what, Wilson Ramos really having a tough time picking up throws this year, all season long. It really dates back to Bryce Harper's first big league game in Los Angeles when he made a good throw. This one a short hop, but you know that ball really shouldn't get by Wilson. And then it gets tricky here. Joe Ross misses it. It goes right in that camera well area down there, and Nick Swisher gets to second base. That ball can't get by Wilson Ramos.
They give an error to Bryce Harper on the throw. His 7th of the year, and I'd say more than half of those errors have been on strong throws to home where the ball just hasn't been handled. So it's second and third, 2 outs for Adonis Garcia. This one out to short for Ian Desmond. So it could have been worse. A little bit of damage for the Braves early. Manny Banuelos against a hot Washington offense. Straight ahead. As the Nats get ready to take all of that stuff, mix in some bats and some swings, and do some early damage. Anthony Rendon. Last 14 games, hitting safely in 13 of them, 19 hits, 8 walks, 10 RBIs. Doing a great job hitting behind Worth and in front of Bryce Harper. The Nats don't have Ryan Zimmerman. Has FP said scratched for today. Hopefully in there tomorrow. But there's production up and down that lineup. Manny Banuelos 5 2/3 earlier against the Nats. No runs on 2 hits.
A 7-1 loss last start against the Marlins. He went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, walked 1, struck out nobody, threw 52 pitches. So fastball averaging 89, slider 83, curveball changeup to complement it. And you have to make him throw strikes. Over his last 6 starts, including the minor leagues, 15 walks, 13 strikeouts.
It was July 2nd at Atlanta, that ball game. He threw 75 pitches, 48 strikes that evening in a 2-1 Braves win. Beat Max Scherzer. That's low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jason Worth in the series on base 5 times. 4 hits, a base on balls, and now hitting .304 his last 20 games.
And Banuelos, a top prospect in the Yankees organization, a guy that used to throw 97 miles an hour. He's had some arm difficulties, some arm problems. Now his fastball averaging 89.
from the Yankees to the Braves in a deal involving current Nat David Carpenter. Left-handed pitcher Chasen Shreve. That was back on New Year's Day. Here's the Nissan pitch track on the entire AB. 3-1. Worth can't get to that 90, moving away from him.
Here's your Braves defense behind Banuelos. Swisher, Bourne, Markakis the outfield. Simmons, Garcia left side. Peterson, Freeman right side. And A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate.
Anthony Rendon, 3 for 13. A walk and 5 runs in the series. Had a 2 for 4 night last night. Worth and Rendon both not on the active roster when the Nats face this lefty. The other Nat in the lineup that hasn't faced him, Ian Desmond. Danny Espinosa was at short that night in Atlanta. So he showed you what he's done over his last 14 ball games and really hot over the last week and a half. Rendon looks at a fastball in there, 2-1. .89 right to the edge.
Now this is where when you throw 89 miles an hour you have to live if you're Manny Banuelos. Perfect pitch down the way.
Way inside. That ball either right under one of Anthony's feet or between his spikes. 3-2.
And he's done that with every slider he's thrown so far. So if you're a hitter and you see that rotation, just disregard that pitch. That almost got him right in the front foot. Doing a little dance.
And a swing and a foul tip strikeout. So 2 Ks in front of Bryce Harper, who put on quite a show here last night with 8 total bases.
Yeah, home run, 3rd inning, his 500th hit. Then he goes double-double, so 3 for 4. Big night for Bryce Harper. And I have a question for you, Bob Carpenter. Do you have your calculator ready?
Okay.
22 years old, 500 hits. Can he get to 3,000? And how old will he be if he can?
How long do I get to work on this?
He usually has long at-bats. Can he get to 3,000 hits? See, you got plenty of time. Ball's going to ricochet down there.
Let's just put it this way. He's made it to 500 in just over 3 years.
And been hurt a lot.
So maybe he gets his next 500 at the age of 25. So that's 1,000. I'd like his chances of getting 2,000 in his early 30s.
Right.
And then Bryce would probably reach 3,000 sometime around the age of 36, 37. Yeah, so that's about as well as I can guess.
Yeah, on the spot, live TV. That's
and then if he plays till he's 45, look out Ty Cobb, Pete Rose, and Ichiro.
They're telling me they're saving that tape in the truck for when he does it.
Well, you can dig it out of the time capsule while you're digging me out of the time capsule someday. 0-2 to Bryce. Solid against lefties all year long.
I told you off the air, I think whoever does the eulogy at your funeral has to end it with "see you later."
Well, thanks for thinking along those lines.
I mean, don't they?
Oh, man. Maybe I'll pop up and say it.
That would be awesome.
1-2. And a little pop-up out to short left. Under that, Simmons. And while I ponder my future or lack thereof, we'll go to the top of the second with the Braves on top 1-0.
About how after his last start in St. Louis, in which he walked 6 guys, including the last 3 hitters that he faced, Joe Ross talked about how he hasn't really used rosin in the past and how he didn't really have a good grip on the baseball during that outing. I talked to Ross yesterday. He said that over the last handful of days he's started experimenting with the rosin and he's gotten a decent feel for it. He's also asked around to a bunch of other pitchers to see how they get a grip on the ball when it's high humidity, when they're really sweaty. He said it's going to take time to get totally comfortable with the rosin, just because as a pitcher you obviously want to be totally in control of how you feel in terms of the grip on the ball. It's something that he's going to continue to work on. He doesn't think that he's got many high humidity games left. His next start scheduled to be in Miami with the Dome, then the next one's here in DC with the humidity should be dropping.
All right, Dan, good stuff. Top of the second, Simmons, Bourne, and Banuelos against Joe. 22 pitches, 15 strikes. That was our Coons.com rosin sideline report. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, based on that shot we just showed you, his feet aren't going to sweat.
Yeah, you
watch.
Get a little kick, huh?
Yeah, got sweaty feet. You just dip right there. Good.
Little tap against the spike cleaner there. Backhand stop. Escobar turns and finds his target, and Tyler Moore has it. Great play, first out. And Andrelton Simmons now is 0 for 11 against the Nats this weekend and 0 for his last 16. Having a hard time buying a hit.
Yeah, ready for the baseball. Last hop on the grass, so it doesn't pick up a lot of speed. That gives Unell a chance to make a real nifty backhand play right here. Knows he has time because the ball's hit hard. Gets up, picks up his target. And an Exmo really takes his time before he throws it across.
Number 8 hitter Michael Bourne 1 for 4 with a walk. Had a sac fly last night. And Ross ahead 0-2 now with the pitcher on deck. Tried to pull that outside pitch. Tyler Moore over to get it. Leads his pitcher perfectly. And 2 outs. Nobody on. Inside the numbers with Jeep. Home ERA among rookies. So Taylor Youngman pitching in that dome in Milwaukee pretty well. Lance McCullers also a lot of his games indoors. Joe Ross right in the middle of all of them. And a Met is number 5. Minimum 6 starts for those rookies. Top of the 3rd at Miami, still 1-1. Mets, Marlins. The Miami RBI, by the way, a single by Marcell Ozuna, bottom of the 1st. Banuelos 0 for 2. 4 sacrifice bunts this year. So when anybody's been on base, he's handled the bat pretty well. Oh, 2. Hits it well to the other side. Tyler Moore right there. Spelling Ryan Zimmerman today. In on all 3 plays was Tyler. It'll be Escobar, Desmond, and Ramos coming up. By University of Maryland, University College. Ryan knew it. It was a walk-off home run against the Miami Marlins, then the Florida Marlins on Sunday, September 6, 2009. The Nats scored 3 in the 9th. Willie Harris led off with a home run. Christian Guzman a base hit. Zimmerman won it. The Nats scored all 5 of their runs in the last 2 innings.
That was BBOF, before bucket of filth. 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Nats Plus is back for 2016. Memberships are on sale right now. Enjoy the best seats in the house at the best price, and you'll have access to private on-field events. Nats Plus memberships give you a year-round Nationals experience. Visit nationals.com/Nats Plus and join right now.
By the way, then and now, with that win, Ryan Zimmerman elevated the Nats record to 47-90. Back in those old days. Here's Escobar, bottom of the 2nd. And Yunel scorches one to left. Nick Swisher playing pretty deep. Takes it on a hop. And the Nats get their leadoff man aboard. 2nd inning.
And not waiting around. Gets a fastball down and in. Just off the sweet spot, but hit it well enough to the right of Nick Swisher for the first knock of the day for the Nats, and there goes the no-hitter.
Ian's had a good series, and some of it due to last night. 3 for 4, a couple of doubles, a single, 2 runs scored. That was Escobar's first hit against Banuelos, 1 for 3 now. And I think Ian wanted to pull that ball down the 3rd base line, and it got right in on him. It ended up going the other way.
I think he was pushing that to 2nd base all the way.
Okay.
He's seeing where Jace Peterson is playing up the middle, and he knows if he can get it past the left-hander, you push the ball against lefty because they fall off toward the third base side. He's got the whole right side for a base hit bunt that way. Just kind of tied him up. You need to pitch out over the plate or away to do it.
Here's Desmond again on 0-1. Off speed, way up and away. 1-1. Big time damage on this count, especially since the All-Star break. Ten of his 17 homers. 26 of his 50 RBIs in the second half of the season. And Brzezinski tried to pull it back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not even close. Easy take. 2 on, nobody out. Wilson Ramos had one of the 2 Nats hits against Banuelos back on July 2nd in Atlanta. 1 for 2 against him that night. Denard Span had the other. So a potential for a big inning here. Nats down by a run. 2 on, nobody out. Taylor next, and then Tyler Moore. The lineup stacked with right-handed bats other than Harper today.
Little cut to that Banuelos fastball at times. He'll throw the 4-seamer, 2-seamer, but he'll cut it when he throws it into right-handers. That one had some late cut.
Brzezinski moving in. Wilson Ramos skips away from a fastball. It's 1-2. On the offside, Nick Markakis, the shallowest of the 3 outfielders. Oh, they're going to ring him up that time. Ramos a word with Andy Fletcher on his way. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Looks similar to last pitch. Let's see. Pitch number 3 in. Pitch number 4 close. Wilson Ramos didn't like it, and he lets Andy Fletcher know.
Michael A. Taylor
with 1 out. Pulls it left field corner. His second hit of the series, and with those 2 hits, he's going to have 5 RBIs. The Nats are on top 2-1.
"60 RBIs for Michael Taylor." 60. How loud was this? 14th double of the year for Michael A. Taylor. A ringing shot down the left field corner. Caught an off-speed pitch out front. 2 hops to the wall. Nice send by Bob Henley. He knows that Nick Swisher doesn't have the greatest arm. You see him throw a changeup right there to Simmons. That allowed Ian Desmond to be waved home. With 1 swing of the bat, the Nats are up by 1. Nice swing, Michael Taylor.
Another man in scoring position, and Tyler Moore has had a couple of great swings in this series. A pinch hit double the other night, line drive out, 1 for 3 against the Braves. And that, by the way, adds to Taylor's batting average of .345 with runners in scoring position. Strike call, that inside corner available with the fastball.
14 home runs, 60 RBI, 15 stolen bases. He's played a great center field.
5th on the home run list among rookies. And now only 3 behind Matt Duffy of the Giants for 2nd.
And the longest home run of the year, that's got to count for something. 493.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever happens, he can always say, my rookie year, I hit the longest home run in Major League Baseball. Well, up to this point, obviously. There's still time left. Still a few games in Coors Field to be played.
1-1 to Tyler Moore. But again, no matter who's down there, whether it's Ramos or Taylor or Ian Desmond, that 7-8 spot down there, the Nats have serious pop coming from that part of the lineup right in front of the pitcher. Tyler, as a starter this year, hitting .242 with 18 RBIs. And this one well hit to right, but Nick Markakis is right there. And then Taylor back to the bag. 2 outs.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one on this Sunday afternoon, look forward to Miller Time later in today's game. That is brought to you by Miller Lite. So tomorrow is going to be intense either way. But if, with a long way to go in this one, long way to go in Florida, if the Nats could get it to 4 before tomorrow, that would just kind of ratchet it up a notch, don't you think?
Absolutely. Scherzer and Neese tomorrow. Jordan Zimmerman, Matt Harvey Tuesday. Mets haven't announced yet, or rather the Nats haven't confirmed 100% that it'll be Strasburg against Jacob deGrom on Wednesday.
And you're hoping that Nats fans come out here tomorrow and make this place a circus. Make it loud, make it noisy, be obnoxious for about 9 innings or 8.5.
So those are what we would call the probable. Strasburg hasn't been printed in on the Nats notes just yet, but we expect him to be out there Wednesday and certainly hope he will be. And the 0-1 to Joe Ross is up and in, counts even.
Turn Nats Park into a zoo tomorrow. I mean, basically it's the playoffs.
Ross, a great hack. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good eye. Banuelos, long inning now, about to throw his 20th pitch of the second. And with Worth on deck, becoming a great at-bat for the number 9 hitter. He hit him, and Joe Ross flings the bat and walks down the line.
Did Joe Ross have a little glance out there? I think the last thing Manny Banuelos wanted to do is hit Joe Ross, especially in that count with Jason Worth on deck. But hey, when you get hit, it hurts. No, he just took his base. No big deal.
Roger McDowell, the Braves pitching coach, to the mound. So 6 batters in this inning. 4 have reached. And Jason Worth could make it a huge inning. Nats have already taken the lead. So basically we're talking about 3 weeks of production here, over 6 runs a game. Team batting average just under 300. On base percentage over 380. 28 of their 145 home runs.
AJ and Jason Worth having a little talk right now. Something was funny.
Banuelos struck out Worth first time.
Yeah, mostly sinkers away first time up to Jason.
Freddie Freeman's playing about 30 feet off the first base line. If Worth chooses that side on some of those pitches away. And the count evens 1-1. Second base, Michael A. Taylor after the 2-run double. Then Joe Ross, a long at bat, hit by a pitch on a 3-2. We talked about the breaking ball thing early for Banuelos. He's missed by a wide margin on some.
I don't know how Michael A. Taylor's knee is feeling, and you generally don't steal third with 2 outs, but he could walk in right now if he wants to, because nobody's paying attention to him, and he's got a huge lead.
Way inside, 3-1. Manny's lost it here. Sugar Ray Merrimone is up and throwing for the Braves early. Second start since being activated from the DL on Tuesday for Banuelos. Had left elbow inflammation. (3-1) and Jason Worth, see you later. A laser to left, and the Nationals lead 5-1.
Shake and bake.
Number 7 for Jason Worth. RBI total up to 29. And he now has an 8-game hitting streak.
Give Joe Ross credit for keeping that inning going. Getting hit by a pitch. The line moves to Jason Worth. And just like that, it's 5-1 with a little tremor to left.
Four home runs and 11 RBIs for Worth during his 8-game hitting streak now. There are hot bats all over this lineup right now. 1-1 to Rendon. He takes one upstairs. A 5-run second. Taking advantage of a walk and a hit batter. The Nats soon will have 20 homers against the Braves. Don't know if it's today or down there. Rendon is gone, thrown out by Simmons with a great inning to start it with an Escobar hit. A Michael A. Taylor 2-run double, and then Jason Worth, and it did not take long for this one to leave the premises.
And we'll show you the location of the pitch. Right down Broadway, caught it out front, right down the middle. And Jason Worth, who's been outstanding since he's moved to the leadoff spot, puts his ball club up by 4 with one swing of the bat. So Michael Taylor with a big double to left scored a few, and Jason Worth with a little shake and bake action to Bryce Harper. It's their little personal high-five deal. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run a Nats player hits this season. So keep them coming. It's for a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
Nats with 146. Left at 107. Nick Markakis, top of the order, top of the third. And Joe Ross had a nice second inning, 10 pitches, 8 strikes. Big lead now. And Markakis puts the sweet spot on that one. And going the other way, he's 2 for 2. Scored the Braves' only run back in the first on a 2-out hit by Nick Swisher. That'll bring in Jace Peterson. And this ball high in the air to Michael A. Taylor in center. You can see the sun glaring off those shades of his. Takes it for the first out.
American Standard, who's hot and who is not. Both guys are hot against their respective ball clubs, against the teams they're playing today. Freddie Freeman, .515 average. Check out the OPS against the Nats. And Bryce Harper, same way against the Braves. Both left-handers like playing against each other.
We could run that graphic in every series these teams play. Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star Sales Event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. Freddie Freeman, a base on balls first time. Ross keeping the ball away, keeping it down.
Freddie Freeman signed that big deal last year, $135 million extension. And he is hoping that this whole rebuild thing happens quickly. I think that when you make a commitment to the ball club makes a commitment to you. It's a two-way street, right?
Yeah, high in the air left. You know him. He wants to win and win badly.
If I'm Giancarlo Stanton, yeah, he's got all the money in the world, but you know, baseball players are competitors. They want to win first and foremost, and it's awesome to get paid, and there's nothing better, I can't imagine, than setting up generations financially. But you know, the bottom line, when you're competing at the highest level, you want to compete, you want to win, you want some rings and some hardware to go with all the hard work and effort. If I'm Giancarlo Stanton right now, I can't be happy by what's going on in South Florida.
Yeah, Marlins fans have been teased a lot in recent years, haven't they? This ball's got some carry to it. Worth is there. I mean, he was out for a Sunday jog pulling in that long drive by A.J. Pierzynski.
Spend an extended Labor Day weekend at home with the Nats. No added fees on tickets for the series against the Mets. September 7th through the 9th starts tomorrow. Fairly large series, I would say. Visit nationals.com/stay to purchase your tickets right now. Harper is number 34. Captain obvious, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and they want him to hit number 34.
I don't know why that gets me every time.
Pop up to short first time. Banuelos had a 1-2-3 first inning. 17 pitches, 10 strikes. Bryce trying to lay back on the curveball, and he just had a glance off his bat over to the Braves dugout. Marlins had a threat in the bottom of the fourth, 2 on, 1 out. Couldn't get anything done. So they're in the 5th inning down there. Jared Kozart. That ball hit a long way to left center. Going back, Bourne, and there is number 34. Bryce Harper opposite field again, making his home run living on the other side of this ballpark this weekend.
Come on, I mean, are you kidding me with that one? He just flipped that ball to left, and he went almost into the red seats. Just flipped it.
3-game home run streak here at Nationals Park. Friday night, he did pull one to right center, upper deck.
Hug from Steve McCaddy. Had one last night on hit number 500, which was his 33rd home run.
Yeah, that was to left center, and he does it again today.
Unbelievable.
Bryce scores his 101st run to 68th extra base hit.
2 behind Nolan Arenado in Cargo now.
Escobar takes one way inside, 2-1.
And if you missed it at the outset, Miguel Cabrera is the only player to lead either league in batting average and home run in a single season since 1970. Bryce Harper has a chance to do it this year.
Batting average up to 338 on this swing.
Slider right on the barrel, and it's the top hand, folks. Watch the top hand roll over and create all the backspin. He talks about the sledgehammer effect with that left hand of his. He did it right there, and that's why that ball carried so far for so long. When he hits them, they stay hit. Home run number 34. That was impressive.
Escobar pulls one deep short. Simmons, brilliant play, and really no chance for the throw, but that shows you what kind of shortstop Andrelton Simmons is. And Yunel Escobar now has another multi-hit game. This is his 41st of the year. I think Freddie Gonzalez has gone as far as he can go with Manny Banuelos. He'll go 2+ and give up a ton. 6 runs on 5 hits, couple of homers.
at home run number 34 from number 34 one more time. And just watch how, even though he's out front, he still rolls those wrists. And fooled on the pitch, but stays through it. So watch him stay through it with the top hand. And ball carrying to left center. How about the little lefty? That's a pretty good effort by the young man out there. Almost caught a Bryce Harper home run.
Yeah, I hope he got that ball from somebody.
Yeah, me too. He stuck his nose in there, didn't he? I like it.
Sugar Ray Merrimon. And the breaking ball low and away. Sugar Ray came in the second inning Thursday night after the Nats knocked out Matt Whistler after 5 outs. He gave up 2 hits, actually 3 hits, 2 runs in 1 inning. And Ian Desmond takes one up and away.
Sugar Ray named after Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, it could have been Sugar Ray Robinson. It could have been the musician Sugar Ray. So I felt it was necessary to say that it was Sugar Ray Leonard. There's many Sugar Rays it could have been, Bob. You're not getting that anywhere else. It's deep.
Pre-game research makes the broadcaster.
So does the internet.
3-1.
Well, the most famous Sugar Ray, that's, yet to be determined, right?
I'd have to go with Robinson at this point. 3-1. Ian Desmond, a big hack at a pitch upstairs. Counts full, 3-2. Ian Desmond takes his second walk of the day. And that's happened a few times lately. Homer, single, walk for the Nationals, bottom of the 3rd inning. So the Braves in this series, the longest any starter has gone to Julio Teheran, 6 innings, a run on 5 hits Friday night. But their last 11 games, they're not hitting. They're the lowest scoring and home run hitting team in all of baseball. And just unable to get hits, and couple that with the 3rd highest earned run average in the league at 4.57. It's not a good combination. Ramos got a breaking ball, slaps it to left. Nick Swisher right there for the first out.
Time to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtag NatsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. That's brought to you by T-Mobile. I'm still impressed by the little dude in left center field that tried to catch Bryce Harper's home run. That guy, he's the man. Nice try, dude.
Yeah.
You almost caught a Bryce Harper home run, and you're like 5.
And your folks are about to get another text message that you're on Masson.
And you tried for it. That's all that counts. Good effort. I like it. You're a gamer. You can play on my team any day.
If he didn't get that ball, we need to get him a baseball.
Well, if he caught that ball, that would have been something too, but he tried for it. I mean, look at this. Little man, a Bryce Harper homer coming at you. And he almost caught it. Little ricochet got him in the wrist. Probably scared him a little bit. He's fine. That was a great effort.
In the air out to right center from the bat of Michael A. Taylor. Michael Bourne having trouble with it, and then it's off his glove. So the base runners all do a good job of getting to their next station, and the bases are loaded with one out. Bourne was having all kinds of problems. Markakis got there as well, and the bases are loaded with one out.
You know, stuff like this happens to an outfielder when you're 20 games over 500, but when you're scuffling like the Braves are right now, it just looks so much worse than it really is. I mean, he picked it up late. He still had a chance for it. Markakis saw it. Bourne saw it at the last second, and it pops out of his glove, and everybody advances, and that just kind of tells the story for the Braves this series against the Nats right there, that one play. And my man out there, he's digging it. Did he get that ball? I need to know if he got that ball, because we'll send him one if he didn't.
So E8 on that fly ball. Here's Tyler Moore. Bases loaded, one out. A run in on the Harper homer. And Tyler Moore will pull one to the left side, and everybody's going to be safe on a bobble by Adonis Garcia. And the Braves just can't get much of anything done here. We'll give Tyler Moore an RBI. It'll probably be E5.
Yeah, this is a play that at this level has to be made 99 times out of 100. And on the exchange, Garcia loses grip on the baseball. So he's got the glove play, but he reaches into his glove and doesn't get the baseball.
Now Joe Ross with the bases loaded, one out. Chance for his first big league RBI. He'll scorch a double play ball to Simmons, and that'll put an end to the inning on a 6-3. But the Nats pick up two more. The highlight, Bryce Harper opposite field, 7-1 Washington. Brought to you by DynCorp.
DynCorp International, where we say or serve today for a better tomorrow. What a day. 7-5-1 Nats, 1-3-2 Braves. And by the way, just as we sent a baseball out to that young man, somebody from the field gives him a baseball.
Well, he's going to have a whole bag of balls by the time he's done. We sent him one out. He's got one there. He deserves it. That was the effort of the year by my man, the lefty, out there in left center field.
I just wonder if somebody signed that ball for him.
Well, we devalued it and signed it for him.
Yeah, so he'll have another one shortly, and good for him. Hey, Mom was making a pretty good effort for that ball, too, with the bare hands.
Well, she could have one, and he could have one, and that's where we draw the line. I mean, did they have to get a tape of that and save it for that kid's wedding someday? I mean, he was ready for the baseball. It was coming to him. Bryce Harper's 34th home run. It was awesome.
Well, we can show that when he makes his major league debut 15, 16 years from now.
I think if he would have caught it, it would have taken his glove right off. It really would have. And he's got a Bryce Harper shirt on, too. How about that? Wow.
I wouldn't put it past Bryce to have signed the ball and sent it out there.
Yeah.
Top of the fourth inning, Nick Swisher, the hitter. He's got a Harper ball. He's really going to be excited about Santangelo and Carpenter.
Yes. He's going to throw it on the field like they do it right.
He'll throw it back. Oh, he's going to look at his mom and say, who? Well, Joe Ross walks the leadoff guy, top of the fourth inning. I got to get the tears out of my eyes so I can write that base on balls down. Well, here we go tomorrow with the Mets. And it'll be Max Scherzer, Jonathan Nice, Jordan Zimmerman, Matt Harvey Tuesday. And then the Nats expected to throw Steven Strasburg against Jacob deGrom on Wednesday night. Holiday with the Nats and the Mets tomorrow. 1:05 first pitch. Nick Stevens studying the Mets media guide.
Yeah.
And the way that Garcia took off, ball must not have hit him, so that's in play and one out, with Swisher moving to second base. Andrelton Simmons will be next.
Have you given an update lately? Because you should.
2-1 Marlins. They got a run in the bottom of the fifth inning. And how about the way they scored? Jeff Mathis, their backup catcher, first home run of the year. It's a veteran guy. We talked about him last week. Been around a long time because of his defense. And he gets a big hit in a pennant race for a team trying to be a spoiler. Swisher to third on the ground ball by Simmons, who's now 0 for his last 17.
Well, he should get a $1 hot dog for that home run. Presented by Hatfield on Wednesday, September 9th. Nats take on the Mets 7:05. $1 hot dogs available for purchase at all Nats dog stands until the start of the sixth inning while supplies last. Get your game tickets now at nationals.com. So if the guy in front of you goes all Joey Chestnut with the hot dogs, you're not going to get one. Studying up, I like it. He's going to know what Michael Kadyr's favorite color is and that he likes to go for long walks on the beach.
You know, I'm looking at the cover of my Braves media guide that's got John Smoltz on the cover, and that doesn't.
It's the Mets.
Let's see.
He's
Let
looking
me turn
ahead.
it that way.
He's pitching against the Mets.
Yeah, no, he's looking at the Braves, I guess. So filing things away for the future. Our crew, they don't miss anything.
So it is the Braves. Okay. Well, he knows that Michael Bourne likes to go for long walks on the beach.
and hopefully short walks down the first baseline. 2 balls, 1 strike. Walk and 2 grounders for Ross here. Joe's had 52 pitches with 2 outs in the 4th inning. One of those runs unearned last inning. So the Nats got Banuelos for 7 runs, 6 earned in 2+ innings. 2-2 pitch. DeBourne outside. Target right on the edge. 3-2 pitch. Tyler Moore to his right. Throws it behind Ross. And the Braves score a run. Great effort. But Joe had no chance in full stride to get back and stop that one.
From where we're sitting, I thought Tyler Moore caught this in the air.
Oh, then it came out.
Yeah, it came out a little bit. And then Joe Ross getting over there. Tyler threw it behind him, and there's no way that Joe Ross could stop his momentum, like you said. Yeah, Joe had to start up again, and Tyler Moore didn't give him a lead. Good effort, though.
They're going to give him a base hit on that. 2-out RBI for Michael Bourne. Michael Bourne could probably use that hit. He was 7 for 55 as a Brave before that swing. Sugar Ray Merrimone now will be the hitter. They did have one of their catchers, Ryan Lavarnway, on deck.
That is taking choking up to a whole new level right here. And he can hit, so it must be working.
Yeah, they're hoping he can keep the inning alive, and then Nick Markakis can do what he's been doing all day. A couple of hard hit balls.
I mean, he's turning that bat into a billy club. And here comes Steve McCatty out to try to maybe give Joe Ross a little breather after he ran to first.
Started this inning with 41 pitches. He has 57 right now. So right now in Miami, the Mets are batting top of the 6th inning. 2-1 Marlins. Looks like Jared Cozart is out of that game. He gave them 5 good innings. Chris Narveson pitching right now from the Miami bullpen. 2 balls, no strikes. That's on the inside edge. And then to the other side. High fastball. Ross over. Bare hand. Stops and fires. Tyler Moore the stretch. Well played on both ends to end the top of the 4th inning. Here come the Nats with the top of the order up. So in the 4th, while we look at this one, the Nationals will have the top of their order up, and these guys will be batting for the 3rd time today. Freddie Gonzalez still looking into his dugout. He's not going to challenge, and the top of the 4th is indeed over. Well played by Ross and Moore. Padres, a pretty tightly packed bunch. Not sure who the guy is who stands in the corner that you're supposed to go around. But after several falls, Calvin wins again, and he's having a hot homestand.
He's locked in. Still needs some just for presidents.
Yeah, I'm waiting for his hair to actually move one of these times.
Yeah, you got to touch up that gray a little bit. Just 5 minutes, all you need.
Jason Worth high in the air, first swing, bottom of the fourth. Freddie Freeman, foul ground for the first out. Last time up, Jason really put a charge in one.
I mean, that's right down Broadway. You can't center cut it any more than that. Fifth pitch of the at-bat. 3-1 count. Fastball right down the middle. And usually big league hitters do not miss those.
And Jason Worth getting closer to 200 home runs. He's at 193 now. Here's Anthony Rendon. Kind of interesting, if Jason hadn't been hurt so long, he and Ryan Zimmerman would probably be arriving at 200 about the same time. Ryan has taken care of that. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike to Anthony Rendon, 0 for 2. Sugar Ray coming out throwing strikes. And Rendon hits one well to left. See you later. Back wall of the bullpen. And that's Anthony Rendon's 4th of the year.
He didn't even get that.
Funny sound, wasn't it?
Yep. He just stayed through it. Even though he didn't hit it on the sweet spot, he stayed through the baseball so long, he got enough of it to ride it out of here for his 4th home run of the season.
And don't sleep on the first pitch to Harper here. Nats have hit 3 today. The first 3 guys in the lineup have all homered in this one. And they've driven in 5. Off speed outside.
I think he's saying he didn't get it either. And stayed through it so nice. Kept his hands back. Was fooled a little bit. Caught it out front. Ball's fine here today.
3-0. By the way, if you didn't already know, Wilmer Flores, a 2-run homer in Miami. So the Mets a 3-2 lead, top of the 6th inning there. The rubber game of that series, and this is outside, and Bryce Harper walks for the 7th time in this series and the 107th time this year.
Check out the Anthony Rendon home run one more time. 4th of the year for Anthony, and it looks like a changeup that kind of comes back, and watch him just stay through it, catch it out front. The extended swing with the left hand. I wonder if our little left-handed friend out there thought he was getting another one.
There's Escobar with a 2-hit game. 143 hits on the year. Just a few hits out of the top 10. Bryce Harper has 42 multi-hit games. And now Escobar is right behind him. In the air to short center. Long way for Bourne. And again, the sun blazing in his glasses as he approached the infield. 2 outs. A few moments ago in center field, we are told. Pointing to the broadcast booth, he's got another baseball. He can't see us from that far.
All right, everybody's got baseballs.
He didn't throw it back after.
No,
That's good.
It's good.
Now his parents will try to explain to him who those two are on that ball.
They're the two guys. They're the two guys we mute every night, honey. So how would you know who they are? That's great. Seriously, though, that's what it's all about. Families at the yard.
2-0. Hey, thanks to Mike Worthington, our Masson guy, for running that ball out there. Well done, Mike. Record time to the other side of the yard.
Thanks, Masson guy.
3-0. Did they walk Ian Desmond 3 times in a row?
Well, he tweeted the other day after the game a picture of a pig flying, and nobody knew what it meant. He said that was in reference to me walking 3 times today.
That's good.
He's about. Well, we'll see. Pigs may fly again here if there's another ball.
Yeah. I think if he goes a second time, we should see a hippo airborne.
Yeah, maybe.
2 outs in the 4th. Harper at first. Three and 2. And Bryce will have a head start. Just tabulating. Bryce Harper, it looks like, has now been on base 13 times in this series, and he has scored 9 runs. 3-2. He's off and running with the pitch, and Desmond a swing and a miss. Anthony Rendon adds to the Nats lead, and you know your ball club's going well when one of your infielders gets one off the end of the bat and hits it about 380, 390 to left field. Wow. Opposite field, strike one. Double in the first, single in the third. There's that good slider.
And working ahead, throwing strikes. Throwing strike one.
Tries to bolt that fastball to the inside edge. One ball, two strikes. Into the right side, the Nats will get Markakis for the first time today, and we get Masson Dan.
Bob, earlier on this season, I polled a bunch of position players and coaches asking them who they thought the best hitting pitcher was. Today, I polled a bunch of pitchers and coaches to ask who among the position players they think would throw the fastest if he got up on a mound. Danny Espinosa was the winner of that poll. Bryce Harper came in a close second. Max Scherzer told me that Harper has better arm action. It's longer. Mike Rizzo told me that Bryce used to throw 93 when he was in high school. But Danny Espinosa, the winner among that poll, Danny told me he clocked at 89 back when he was like 16 years old.
Well, we've seen that arm. Second base, third base, short, and left field.
I'd take Michael Taylor in that fight, too. But I don't know. I just think Bryce Harper would try harder, and I think he'd throw harder. I'd still like to see it, but I mean, you could blow out, so that's never going to happen.
And then Joe working ahead again, 0-2 to Jace Peterson, who has popped up to second, hit a fly ball to center.
And Michael Taylor's got longer arms, and he would throw harder. I think he's the sleeper in this whole thing, because he has a cannon. He might throw that easy 94 where he's not trying.
Right.
And you know Bryce would. What's the guy's name that hops for the Marlins? That's what he would do. Jump off the rubber and throw it about 100. Carter Capps.
Yeah. That's close. Fastball just up a bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball hit hard into the corner. That breaks up for Jace Peterson, an 0 for 14. Ball caroms off the wall. Bryce retrieves, and the Braves have a base runner with 1 out, 5th inning. So coming into that at bat, Peterson and Simmons were a combined 0 for 24 in this series.
Most popular way to follow all the action of the Washington Nationals is MLB.com. At bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, and live radio broadcasts. Get MLB.com at bat right now.
Steve McCaddy to the mound. Little pause here with Joe at 71 pitches. He threw 68 in St. Louis on Tuesday, not able to get out of the 3rd inning because of those 6 walks. Only gave up 1 hit. So he has walked a couple today, but he has been attacking the strike zone most of the afternoon. Sammy Solis up again. So that long first inning with a double, a walk, and a single. Efficient since then. Freeman, healthy hack. This ball really carrying the other way and into that corner.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the ballpark playing exceptionally small today, it seems like. Beautiful day for baseball, though, boy. Where else would you rather be? Besides, like, Maui or something.
That's FP. I'm BC. We've heard from DK a few moments ago. Right now, a bunch of HRs for the Nats. One ball, one strike to Freddie Freeman. 0 for 1 with a walk. 5 walks in the series. 4 for 9. Matt Whistler started the first game of this series. And as we mentioned, didn't go long, an inning and 2/3 on 48 pitches.
But I mean, with expanded rosters, and he's one of your prospects. It'd be strange, I think, if they put him in this game. I don't know that I've seen something like that in recent memory.
The 3-1 pitch, and another walk to Freddie Freeman. 6 in the series. That's Joe's 3rd of the day. That'll do it for Joe Ross. In fact, this is kind of unusual. This is the 5th inning. He's going to leave 8-2 ahead and not qualify for a win.
Yeah, he can't be happy about that.
Smiling Anthony Rendon. Yeah, Sunday smile for you. Nats' most recent run, the 8th. And now here's Sammy Solis against A.J. Pierzynski. So Joe Ross leaves 76 pitches, 47 strikes. Did not have a strikeout today. Walked 3, gave up 5 hits.
Fastball, curveball change from Solis. Fastball averaging 94.
Sammy pitched a scoreless 7th and 8th here on Tuesday night. That ball's hit hard by A.J. Pierzynski. And the Braves have another run. It's 8-3. There is a long, long way to go in this game. That's Pierzynski's second RBI of the series on his 3rd hit.
Next up, Nick Swisher.
We talked about how every game from here on out is Game 7, and Matt Williams managing that way. He's not taking any chances, going right to his bullpen. Didn't like what he was seeing from Joe Ross, or maybe liked the matchup of Sammy Solis and A.J. Pierzynski better. So he takes Joe Ross out before he can qualify for the win, and he's thinking about the win for his ball club.
Yeah, still only one out here in the 5th inning. Swisher, RBI hit, walk, run scored. Pop up right side, and it'll be over the dugout, out of play. Solis struck out Swisher looking. First batter he faced Thursday night in the 7th inning. And this ball in the air to center. Michael A. Taylor, he can show off the arm. Freddie Freeman, the runner. Here it comes. Way off line. Throw to second. And Desmond had to pick a short hop throw from Wilson Ramos. So the Braves pick up another run, and it's 8-4. And 4 runs will be charged to Joe Ross.
Yeah, tag was good. Throw just kind of went up the first baseline a little. Good throw would have been interesting at home. Michael Taylor had some momentum going that way, but kind of drifted toward right center, and that's where the throw took him.
Well, Atlanta chipping away here. They've had 3 runs in the last 2 innings. But so have the Nats after the 5-run second. Adonis Garcia, the hitter. Ground ball to short, and a comebacker to the pitcher. Swinging from the heels.
Throwing that fastball in again, see what happens.
There it is, off the plate.
'96. These games get dangerous in the sense that when you put 8 runs up, your mentality as a player is this one's over. Hey, we've scored enough runs. We're going to win this game. And if a team starts to creep back, it's hard to rev back up, get that car into gear again, and add on.
Swinging a foul tip, and it just wouldn't stick in the mid of Wilson Ramos. I guess the question is, do the Braves have anybody in their bullpen who can put a stop to the Washington offense? Hasn't really happened in 4 days. Swing and a miss on 94 upstairs. So Sammy gets 2 out of his 3 guys. But the Braves pick up 2, and it's 8-4 halfway through the game.
Park. It's a beautiful day for baseball. If you're rooting for the Nats, you should be smiling right now, up by 4 runs. Sunday Smiles are brought to you by Hair Cuttery. Home with a smile back guarantee. No small print, just big smiles.
Daniel Castro is a new Atlanta third baseman. Double switch. He'll be batting ninth. That'll put him up third in the 6th inning. And then the new pitcher, as FP said, unusual move, but it's Matt Whistler who started the game here Thursday night. 22-year-old rookie. The Nets pounded him. 7 runs, 3 walks, 5 hits in an inning and 2/3. Matt Whistler, part of that flurry of deals at the end of spring training when Craig Kimbrell went to San Diego. He was a Padres 7th rounder 4 years ago. .81 sharp on the breaking ball. Throwing some pretty nasty hooks. Wilson Ramos strikes out.
Well, Michael Taylor with the clutch of the day so far. 2nd inning. In one swing, 2-run double down the left field corner. And it was a loud one, too. Kind of different sound off his bat. Scored Ian Desmond. Yunel Escobar. Swing and a hop back. And so Whistler is a 4-pitch guy. Threw a couple of nice sliders to Wilson Ramos. Fastball average is 93. Curveball changeup to complement those 2 pitches.
At the knees to Michael A. Taylor, outer half of the plate. That was that trade involving Cameron Maybin, Carlos Quentin, Craig Kimbrell, and Melvin Upton. Casey Jansen for the Nats. He had a clean 7th inning here last night.
Whistler's got a good slider going.
Here's the AB brought to you by Nissan. Everything down and away. Taylor able to react to the mid-90s fastball.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of the bullpen, you're kind of seeing the arm of Matt Whistler. He was 92 the other night for the most part, and that fastball 96, and he's been sitting at 94, so he doesn't have to pace himself. You're thinking, okay, this is a 2-inning deal probably. I'm just going to let it rip.
Taylor pulls it left side, and now Castro can't handle one. Things a little bumpy for the Braves on the left side of the infield. 1 on, 1 out. Tyler Moore coming up. Let's check in with Dan.
Bob, Tyler Moore has stung a couple balls since coming off the disabled list, and he told me the other day that going on the DL stunk at the time. But looking back, it was big for him because he was able to get 4 at-bats a game on his rehab assignment. I asked him how you feel those at-bats the most, the benefit of them when you come back off the DL. He said mentally, you might go through a stretch when you're at the big league level, when you're a pinch hitter, when you don't get a hit for a couple weeks, but you go down, you get a bunch of at-bats, you get your timing right. It reminds you that you're a good baseball player again. He says that's been very important for him.
Well, that's always been the thing for Tyler at the big league level.
behind Adam LaRoche, behind Ryan Zimmerman now.
Well,
getting ABs.
Hitting is rhythm, hitting is timing. What do pitchers want to do? They want to disrupt your timing, but nothing disrupts that more than not playing. So you go down there, you get a little rhythm to your swing. You're seeing rotation. You're seeing the ball quicker out of a guy's hand. You're recognizing ball and strike, all things that are very difficult when you don't get to play on an everyday basis. And then the whole mental aspect of it that I've talked about many times is that your whole day is wrapped around one at-bat.
Yeah.
Whether you're driving home happy or sad or upset is based on one plate appearance. Whereas if you're a starter, you could just be 0 for 1 and rally to make it a 3 for 4. But if you're a pinch hitter, that's your whole day.
Yeah, and if you're a starter, you know you got 4 the next day, too.
And Clint Robinson has a great take on it. He says, I just try to get on base, however that is. It simplifies my mindset for one at-bat a day.
And that he has accomplished. Tyler Moore, high drive, deep center. He got jammed just enough to keep it in the ballpark. And that shows you how strong he is. 2 outs, and Clint Robinson will be the pinch hitter. For the Achiever and PNC Bank with our minor league report, Isaac Ballou. Syracuse just drafted 2 years ago out of Marshall over there in Huntington, West Virginia. $394 last week and a half. Big boy from Germantown, Maryland, 6'2", 205.
Son of Moises, grandson of Felipe.
Well done, Isaac. Now Clint Robinson takes one.
That's on base. Mission accomplished.
I hope he wasn't planning on that, but it worked out that way. Now I just hope he's okay. He's trying to walk it off. Second Nat hit today.
Back toe.
Worth was 1 for 2 against Whistler Thursday. Fly out first inning. And then a base hit right in the middle of a 5-run second inning rally. Nats on their way to that record-setting 15-1 victory. Well, a chance here to answer the 2 the Braves just scored. Get that beyond slam range lead back. And it's well outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marlins batting bottom of the 7th, still trailing the Mets 3-2. Good take by Jason. Liking that leadoff spot. And because of the walks, the on-base percentage considerably higher than that .333. Fourth at bat, and it's the 5th inning.
Hey, big to get a few of those runs back right here. Little answer for the Braves, 2 in the top of the 5th. Jason Worth with 2 outs trying to do it.
He's had a good series, 5 hits. Right off the end, a cue shot down to Tony Tarasco.
That's a DC gray crane in the background. They're not an endangered species.
2-2. And Worth reaching out, a flare out to left center. Hanging up for Bourne, and the Nats are gone in the 5th inning. They've stranded just 5 today while scoring 8. Two hits, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, a season high. Casey Janssen now gets work against Simmons, Bourne, and Castro, top of the 6th inning. You got Oliveira, Bethancourt, and Castro in a 1-2-3 7th inning last night.
Well, it's all about command with Casey Janssen. If he can locate his pitches, keep it down in the zone, stay out of the middle of the plate, he's going to have a good outing. And the times he gets into trouble, he throws too many strikes and too much of the plate. So the fastball averaging 88 this year. And that's the cut fastball that he'll use from time to time, about 33% of the time. Curveball, changeup, slider to go with it.
In on the hands. Here comes Ian Desmond. Time to set himself. Guns out Simmons, who's 0 for 18 now, including 13 in the series. Well, the Nats have been known to surprise some little leaguers, and there's Gio earlier today with some young men and some young ladies. Tanner Roark, Ripken State champs. Well done, guys. Matt Dendecker back there. I know Bryce Harper a couple of weeks ago showed up at a Little League practice in the area and just blew away a whole bunch of kids by coming and having a little fun with them in the middle of the afternoon. Well done, Nats. Michael Bourne 1 for 2 with an infield hit. Ball got away on 0-2, and Bourne is going to make it to first.
Yeah, once that ball got past Wilson Ramos, Michael Bourne, very aware, takes off very quickly and Maybe Wilson lost it behind the swing of Michael Bourne, but see the Braves box score. Nick Markakis, couple of hits. AJ Pierzynski 1 for 3 with RBI single. Nick Swisher's had a nice day.
And a good heater, 89. Strikeout, pass ball. You'd figure they'd look at that replay and rule thus. And the 0-1, left side. Escobar picks it. He'll fire to first to Tyler Moore. He knew Bourne was running to second. Up by 4, get the out you know you can get. Well done, 2 outs.
Matt Williams coming out to get Casey Janssen. And he wants the left-hander Felipe Rivero for Nick Markakis.
2/3 for Jansen. Actually had a strikeout. And top of the order, lefty-lefty.
Washington Nationals. Now it's time for Toyota Case for Kids. Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families. Make a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
Felipe Rivero earlier in this series retired Nick Markakis, who's 0 for 3 career against him. Nick 2 for 3 today. So now they're in the 8th in Miami. Mets batting, leading 3-2, facing Mike Dunn of the Marlins. Markakis, and Rivero knocks it down. That ball was really hit hard, and that ends the inning. Anthony Rendon will lead off, home run last time. Harper and Escobar to follow.
Home run last time up, 4th inning. This guy stayed through it, right? I mean, if you've ever just kind of massaged a ball out of the ballpark, that's the definition right there. Just staying through it. Some backspin, rides it out of the yard, gets his helmet taken off for free. It's great stuff.
Another inning for Matt Whistler. Anthony 1 for 3 today in the series, 4 for 16. He has scored 6 runs.
A couple more runs would not hurt.
Yeah, I'm always kind of checking the lineup to see when Freddie Freeman's batting again. He'll be up second next inning. The Nats box is full. Big blows in the second, the 2-run Taylor double, and then the Jason Worth 3-run homer that just really opened up the whole ball game. Harper a homer. An inning later, Rendon in the 4th.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, everyone talk about this Mets series being a big deal, and obviously is, but the Nats are playing their best baseball of the year. So whatever happens these next 3 days after today, if they can hold on here, you like your chances based on the way you've been playing. I mean, who knows how it all turns out. And I think the Nats have to do some serious damage against the Mets. You know, first step is winning game 1, obviously. You don't want to look too far ahead, but hey, I mean, if you're the Nats right now, you have an edge to your game that you haven't had all season long. So bring on the Mets. I mean, that's got to be the mentality, right? We're the champs. We're the champs. You got to knock out the champs. You're coming to our ballpark and play with that swagger and edge you've played with for the last 2 weeks or so.
And not that we could do anything about it because that's the way the schedule shakes out, but I like the fact they have to come here first, and then the Nats, whatever position they're in that last weekend in New York.
Well, here's your Miller Moments, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bryce Harper just staying through the baseball. 3rd pitch of the at-bat, rolling that top hand, creating tons of backspin for home run number 34 to left center. Is we going to show my man trying to make the catch? Yeah. Good effort by lefty out there. Bryce Harper with number 34.
Chopper by Bryce to the right side. Whistler will shovel it over to Freeman. Anthony Rendon to second base. That's only the 4th time Bryce Harper's been retired in this series. And it started 3 days ago. Escobar next. He's 2 for 3.
Thing is, the Mets are playing arguably their best baseball of the year. So it's going to be 2 trains colliding head to head.
Nobody's backing in.
Something's got to give.
Yeah.
That's where you're hoping that last at bat comes into play. You're at home, and you're hoping that your home fans are really rowdy and making it tough on the Mets.
Yunel Escobar, 2 singles, 2 runs. Struck out his only at bat against Whistler on Thursday. 1 for 7 career against him. But a run to be picked up out there at second base with 1 out, 6th inning. Saw a breaking ball sitting up. Couldn't quite get it. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Yeah, slider's been good from Whistler out of the bullpen. That one was up there a little bit longer than the ones before.
Wow. 94. Escobar asked for time, didn't get it, and then he had to take an emergency swing.
Yeah, a little peek back there to home plate umpire Andy Fletcher. Timeout. Okay, you're not giving it to me. I'll swing anyways. Didn't Bo Jackson go deep doing that once? If I remember right.
Yeah, he could go deep swinging one-handed or 1.5-handed. 1-2. That's inside. I find it great that Bo Jackson had a relatively short major league career. We still talk about things he did 20 years later.
He was a freak show. Just crushing bombs everywhere.
The spike marks when he ran up and down the wall in Baltimore.
Not even trying.
2-2, and Escobar got a front door breaking ball. And Nick Swisher over to grab it in the short gap. Second out, 6th inning.
All right, what we got today on the T-Mobile fan photo. Hashtag Nats Couch Cam brought to you by T-Mobile. All right. John Campbell and his favorite doll.
Junior's not going to look too much like Dad, is he? Well done, sir.
And they're on their couch. I mean, yesterday we had somebody in the middle of the street. It's hashtag Nats Couch Cam, not hashtag get run over by a car.
We had somebody in Antarctica.
Yeah. Mount Everest.
Ian Desmond, a no-contact day so far. 2 walks and a strikeout.
The one thing I would have liked to have seen, I saw Bo Jackson play, was him at Auburn with an aluminum bat in his hand. I mean, that's probably one of the most deadly combinations ever. Bo Jackson, aluminum bat.
Yeah.
Heads up, everybody. Take cover. Hit speed, 420 miles an hour. Oh, Whistler thought that was strike 3. Had a little lean going back to the Braves dugout. Tried to run back the fastball. Brzezinski set up off the plate. Thought it caught a corner, but it really wasn't close according to pitch track.
Tyler Clippard is pitching in the bottom of the 8th for the Mets at Miami now. Still 3-2. And Ian Desmond, some close takes here, seeing the ball well.
Should get a big ovation, you'd think, when he takes the mound here this weekend. I'd imagine. He was a great Nat.
Sure was. 3-2, and Desmond can't get it.
Or this week.
Whistler books it up a couple of zeros for the Atlanta Braves. They have Peterson, Freeman, and Pierzynski coming up.
of Alexandria. Justin Bohr just hit a home run off Tyler Clippard to make that game 3-3 in Florida. That's your game summary.
And some fans right below us just saw the scoreboard. They were clapping. This ball game with Rivero still pitching into the 7th inning. He gets 3 lefties: Peterson, Freeman, Pierzynski. 2 pitches, 1 strike to get Nick Markakis on that hot shot off his body, and he threw Nick out. That was important. That was with a runner at second base last inning. And this one off to the left side. So 3-3 in Miami.
Looked like it might have been a curveball from Tyler Clippard. He hit into the upper deck, and the Marlins have life, and that's a good thing. And the Nats trying to hold on right here. Boy, if it's 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
It's one game, but it's a huge difference. 2-1 pitch.
It's weird how 6 sounds, wow, this is going to be hard. 5 sounds, yeah,
maybe.
You're telling me there's a chance. In 4 sounds like game on. Yeah. Let's do this. We can pull this out. Amazing how the difference between those 3 numbers, right?
Up the middle, Rivero tried to get it, but Rendon's behind it, and that's important with Freeman coming up. Jace Peterson retired. Rivero, Freeman next.
Join the Nats on Wednesday, September 9th for Heroes Day, the final installment of the Patriotic Series that's presented by SAIC. Be a part of the salute to our country and those who serve as the Nats take on the New York Mets. 7:05 start. Visit nationals.com to purchase your tickets right now.
Felipe Rivero and Freddie Freeman doing battle for the first time. Freeman inside out swing. High fly ball left field. Long way for Worth. He slides. And the ball bounces up. And he gives it up as a souvenir. Into the shadows. So you can see the slide mark right where Jason crossed to the left field line. Boring down and in on the left-handed hitting power guy. Nissan will look at quite a pitch.
I mean, his stuff is just, I mean, it plays as good as anybody out of that Nats bullpen. There's no doubt about it. And effectively wild at times, but, you know, a guy that really, I mean, the question mark was, can he throw strikes at the big league level? And he has more than answered that.
They've gone to the top of the 9th in New York. 3-3 here at Nationals Park. And the Nats on top in the 7th, 8-4. And the ball game in Miami tied 3-3 now. A.J. Ramos trying to keep it that way for the Marlins. Freddie Freeman down on strikes. 2 outs, 7th inning.
You see the velocity on this? 99 miles an hour from Felipe Rivero. I mean, he's getting stronger as the season goes on. Through a 98 before that, 99. I wonder if he can hit 100.
A.J. Pierzynski 1 for 3 with an RBI, his 44th of the year.
Yeah,
not a whole lot of interest in hanging in there. 1-1 on the corner.
Well, nothing to do with that one. I don't blame him.
And then to the other half of the plate.
Yeah, 1 strike on the inner half, 1 strike in the outer half, both in the upper 90s. Wow.
Swing and a miss. And that's why you bring in to face some left-handed quality major league hitters. Peterson, Freeman, and Pierzynski down. Bang. Gets us to the Hyundai 7th inning. presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Another big offensive day for the Nats. 6 hits, 8 runs. Worth's 3-run blast featured in that 5-run second inning. And then kind of an odd day for Joe Ross. But when a starter is struggling this time of the year, you've got all hands on deck out of that bullpen to cover it up for the rest of the day.
Well, you got expanded rosters. Allows Matt Williams to play a little bit more with the bullpen. So anytime there's signs of struggle, he's going to go to that bullpen. It's about winning. It's about Game 7 every single day and having to win not just series but games now. And you know, if the Marlins can find a way to pull that thing out in South Florida, the Nats hold on here. You're talking about a 4-game deficit with, you know, the team right in front of you in a 2-game swing every single game. So got to take care of business here, got to finish business here, hope that something good happens for your ball club in South Florida. And then tomorrow, here we go, game on.
And you have your starters set up with Max Scherzer, Jordan Zimmerman, and then Steven Strasburg against New York. And you know, right now with everything going on with Harvey and the Mets pitching staff, the Nats can match up with anybody with those 3 guys.
Absolutely, and they're going to have to be on top of their games. And like I've said, you know, the offense is great, but it all starts with starting pitching. So Max Scherzer, you went out in the offseason, you signed him the big contract. He's your big boy, he's your ace, and an ace has got to be an ace tomorrow. But first things first, Nats have to finish this one.
Looking for the sweep. Peter Moylan takes over here. Wilson Ramos in the bottom of the 7th to lead things off. Peter Moylan came in to get 1 batter to end the 9th inning Friday night before the Nats got the heroics. He got Rendon. Also pitched a scoreless 7th inning on Thursday night, and he faces Wilson Ramos here. And the sidewinder bending one low and away. Two balls, 2 strikes. Wilson today 0 for 3. 2 for 12 in the series with 3 RBIs.
I think you face a guy like Moylan, your right-hander, just totally disregard the inner half. If he runs one of those 2-seamers in there, you can break my bat into 400 pieces. But with that sinker-slider combination, everything with the slider moving away and trying to backdoor that 2-seamer, you take up the middle the other way, and you're right-handed, you have a chance. Not overpowering with the fastball averaging 90, so there's really no rush. You just have to pick up that funky release point.
2-2 pitch. Front door breaking ball hit well to short. Simmons there. 1 down, bottom 7. Taylor and Moore the next 2.
Celebrate the end of an amazing summer at the Fitz for the Potomac Nationals' last homestand or home games of 2015. Fan Appreciation Week, September 1st through the 7th. There's fireworks, there's dollar tickets. For all your ticket and promotional information, visit PotomacNationals.com.
Michael A. Taylor, 1 for 3, 2-run double. He's reached twice on errors. Chops one to third base, a hit. He's 2 for 4.
When you're going good, you're going good. Stay hot, Michael Taylor.
And by the way, that's the Nats' most prolific base stealer aboard here with 1 out, 7th inning.
Yeah, and you like to take that whole one swing thing away from the Braves. So look for Michael Taylor to be aggressive right here against Moylan early in the count. He likes to run on the first pitch.
15 for 18 is Michael A. And Moore chops one. Moylan, he drops it. He's got time at first. So the Braves came close to their 4th error of the day. 2 outs, and former Brave Dan Uggla will bat for Felipe Rivero. So Matt Williams goes righty-righty here. Dan Uggla career 4 hits, a home run against Peter Moylan career.
We're trying to get Dan Uggla in at bat here. He had a chance with Dendecker or Espinoza. Although there's double barrels in the Braves bullpen, he's probably seeing that too, and he likes Dan Uggla against the side armor Moylan.
So nice job by Felipe Rivero. Inning and a third scoreless. Got all 4 batters he faced. Drew Storen ready for the 8th. Counts even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the Mets have the bases loaded with 1 out in the 9th against A.J. Ramos. And he just got a double play ball, and that game's going to the bottom of the 9th, tied. Where they're walking the tightrope with that young closer, but he got out of it. Dan Uggla, good take on a front door breaker at 80, then went diving. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mercedes will track it.
Pretty good pitch right here. Dan Uggla thought it was down, and so did Andy Fletcher. Dan Uggla's done most of his damage against the Braves this year with a couple of big hits. You remember the first one was the triple to right center, and everybody remembers the home run that made it 13-12 on April 28th. There's nothing better than if a team doesn't want you, you get a chance to play against them again, and you show them what they're missing.
13-12 Nats after they trailed 9-1. Uggla not even close to biting on that breaking ball. 3-2. Yeah, Dan Uggla drove in 5 runs in the last 3 innings on a triple and a home run. He was in the lineup that night. Had a 3-hit night. When Moylan throws you that fastball, that thing really sinks at the end. So it looks like Jeff Mathis will be the leadoff guy. Bottom 9, Ichiro is on deck. Go Fish. Trying to win that series. And 3-2 here with Taylor at second base. Worth waiting. Uggla can't get that big breaking ball. Nats have stranded 7. We're going to the 8th. It's still 8-4 Washington. for you. Jonathan Neese, 8-10, 4.17 ERA. He's 2-2 career here with a 3.19. And then there's Max Scherzer looking for number 12. Wednesday at St. Louis grinded his way through 6 innings. A couple of earned runs, struck out 10. Nats extra. Johnny and Ray at 12:30. We'll join you at 1 o'clock. First pitch 1:05. Masson 2. For the 8th, Drew Storen.
See the arsenal? You know the arsenal. Fastball mid-90s. He'll sink it, he'll cut it, he'll throw it 4 seams. Slider, change up to go with it. 56th appearance for Drew. Opponent's hitting 218. And here we go.
Nick Swisher. Pedro Siriaco will hit for Moylan. And then Andrelton Simmons in the Atlanta 8th. Winning runs on base in Miami with nobody out. Tyler Clippard facing Ichiro. Drew pitched the 8th inning on Friday, gave up a run on 2 hits. That was the Swisher go-ahead base hit. So here they meet again. And he took a little bit off at 88 there. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Swisher ready for that fastball in. He was looking in there just a little bit too quick, and that pitch was off the plate. Anytime you see a guy cheating for the fastball in like that, that slider that looks like a fastball in the inner half that breaks under your bat, that back knee slider plays. And the reason is he'll be swinging early to get to that fastball, and the thought process is he'll swing right over the top of the slider.
Full count. And then he throws him a 3-2 slider and walks him. That'll bring in Pedro Siriaco.
Well, that's why you throw that pitch 2-2, because if Fish ain't biting on it, then you go 3-2 fastball up by 4 runs and see how far he could hit it. But then when you get to a 3-2 count and throw it, if he doesn't swing, you're at the mercy of that. Based on if he don't swing, it's going to be a runner on.
Siriaco faces Drew Storen for the first time. He's 1 for 5 with a walk in this series. Nationals looking for a ground ball. That's a good one on the inside half. Little front door breaking ball there. And the count's 0-2.
Well, a lot of things you could do right here. If you're Drew, you can go inside with the fastball if you're confident enough to throw it on the inner half and then go slider 1-2, or you go right to the slider and 0-2 count. Either one works.
He goes the ladder with a killer slider. 84, and Drew Storen strikes out. Pedro Siriaco, first out.
I mean, a couple of good sliders here. Strike 2, good slider. Strike 3, better slider. So it's just so key to throw it in the zone and show me as a hitter that you can throw it for a strike. I can't wait around with 2 strikes. To see where it's going to end up, I have to commit. That was a good sequence by Drew Storen.
Andrelton Simmons, 3 for 12 career against Storen, and now Drew using that front door with the breaking ball.
I'm not sure, but I think I just heard a "Let's Go Fish" chant right below us.
It's not often we root for Dee Gordon to get a hit, but he might just have done that. They have first and third with 1 out. And it looks like they might be walking Christian Yelich to load the bases for Martin Prado.
This is getting good.
Well, this is what it's kind of supposed to be like the last day of the season, right? All the games starting at the same time.
Well, Nats fans aren't really used to this because, you know, in 2012 they clinched late, but it always looked like it was just a matter of time before they clinched. 2014, 17-game lead. They clinched like this week in Atlanta. Never had the nail-biter pennant race before. I mean, you have to enjoy it and embrace it. This is what it's all about, the 6-month journey coming down to meaningful games in September when you get the scoreboard watch and watch another game.
Drew Storen with a big-time heater, and Andrelton Simmons in this series is 0 for 14. 2 outs.
I mean, this is what many cities that have teams wish they had going on right now, and you have it right here, right in front of you. Great pitch by Drew Storen, 95 miles an hour. Challenge fastball, and Simmons, who's had a tough series late.
Michael Bourne, 1 for 3, RBI single, reached on a strikeout pass ball last time, and now Drew throwing all of his pitches in the zone.
Nasty changeup, 88. Bottom dropping out.
Crowd on its feet, chanting Drew, and it's just a little bit low.
Pretty good pitch. Drew had to hop back to the dugout. He didn't think it was low. He thought it was at the bottom of the zone. What does pitch track think? Same way.
Swing and a miss. A walk, and then Drew Storen strikes out the side. Gets this one to the bottom of the 8th. The Nats hoping for help in Miami. Might be quite an afternoon. By Land Rover, above and beyond. And by Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. Eagerly awaiting a result in Miami. Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth there. Marlins have hit 2 ground balls, barely fouled. Drew Storen a great 8th inning. A walk and then 3 strikeouts. Edwin Jackson, the former Nat, came into the ball game for the 7th inning after Tehran pitched on Friday night. And he had a 1-2-3 inning against Danny Espinosa, Jason Worth, and Anthony Rendon, and he'll face the latter 2 right here.
My opponent's hitting .242 against Edwin this year.
Jason Worth 1 for 4 today, 3-run homer. Anthony Rendon 1 for 3, walk and a homer. And then Bryce Harper 1 for 3, walk and a homer.
I don't think shadows are a factor yet. Should be able to see the ball okay.
Jason Worth 2 for 8 career against Edwin Jackson. Counts even. That's right on the edge.
Edwin's still throwing hard, 95 miles an hour.
One and 2 to Worth. Reaches out, hits 1-2. Nick Markakis in that sun field out there, but he grabbed it, 1 out.
Get in on the baseball action with Masson. Text the word Nationals to 29292 for the team alerts. Chances to win exclusive prizes all season long, including meet and greets with your favorite players. Again, that's Nationals to 29292 for alerts that you just can't miss.
Here's Anthony Rendon. Jonathan Papelbon, not a safe situation, but in a way it is, because you have to have every game and you cannot give up 9th inning runs. Rendon 0 for 2 career against Jackson with an out in this series. Oh-2.
Well, cut to that fastball at 96.
Edwin Jackson 10 and 11 in 31 starts for the 2012 Nats. That ball in the dirt to the right of A.J. Pierzynski.
I'll tell you what, if there's ever been a nicer player that put on a Nats uniform, I'd like to know, because Edwin Jackson was nothing but first class the whole time he was here. In a great mood every day, whether he gave up 5 runs or threw a shutout. The same guy every single day.
Signed a huge deal with the Cubs when he left here. Never won more than 8 games there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But the Cubs had a really young pitching staff at that time. They needed somebody to eat up innings, and he was able to do that in Chicago, at least for 2 years. Tyler Clippard's been pitching to Martin Prado for a half hour, it seems. Tyler Clippard's thrown 40 pitches in under 2 innings down in Miami. And Rendon is gone. 2 outs. Marlins have walked off the Mets.
Oh my.
And the Nationals could lead or at least gain 2.5 games on the Mets.
Oh my.
In a span of 4 days.
Oh my. Game on, folks. Objects in the rearview mirror are closer than they appear.
Some of the fans are picking up on it here.
Oh my.
Making a lot of noise right below us.
It's got goosebumps. It's getting good.
And here's Bryce Harper.
Prado with a bullet sack fly to left. Cespedes made the play, threw it home. Marlins score. Thanks for coming. Drive home safely, everybody. Welcome to the pennant race, everybody.
Yeah,
it is on.
For some of you, welcome back. 0-1, and that's okay. Just come back.
It is on.
Up and in to Bryce Harper. 1 ball, 1 strike. There was a close play on the throw at home on that sac fly, and I'm sure the Mets would want to have to take a look at that. Bases empty, 2 outs for Bryce. Walk and a homer today. And Edwin Jackson skips one way out in front of home plate.
Game on.
Yeah, it's official now. Marlins 4, Mets 3.
That might be the at-bat of the year by Martin Prado. That wasn't that bad either.
Bryce Harper, a 2-for-4 day. And in this series now, 7 hits, 7 walks, and he has scored 9 runs. That's how you win a batting championship, with ABs like that.
Yeah, just going that way. Wherever it's pitched, take what they give you. 2-seamer away. Bryce Harper. Just a beautiful swing once again. So what do you got? 2-for-4 with a home run and a walk. Bryce Harper on base 3 more times today. And look at that top hand work, folks. Just a roll of the wrist, a little backspin, and they just showed the score on the scoreboard. That's what you're hearing in the background.
Escobar, 2-for-4. The season ends 4 weeks from today, and for the Mets that must seem like 4 years. So the Nats taking care of business here. 3 more outs to be 4 back. Escobar, right center. Bryce Harper heading for third. Ball picked up by Bourne, and a 3-hit day for Yunel Escobar. Bat him second, batting fourth, bat him fifth or sixth. He just doesn't care. He keeps on hitting.
It's like the honey badger. Put him wherever. Nice swing right there, going to right center field. Bryce Harper at first to third. You know, Escobar doesn't care. He just hits.
Ian Desmond. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Nasty fastball to the outside edge. Well, tomorrow just got a whole lot more interesting, didn't it? Jonathan Eason, Max Scherzer, 105. Be at the yard or be with us. Ian Desmond gone. Nats strand 9 today. And now, Jonathan Papelbon and the Washington Nationals, 3 big outs away. The 9th inning, the Nats are trying to complete a 4-game sweep of the Atlanta Braves. Beat them for the 10th straight time here, 14th of the last 15th, and it's up to Jonathan Papelbon to get things closed out here.
Yeah, fastball, slider split. Fastball averaging 91 miles an hour, 51st appearance for Jonathan Papelbon. Opponent's hitting 215, righty's hitting 165 against the Nats right-handed.
You know, our producer, Chip Winfield, just reminded me of something with Tyler Clippard. He threw 41 pitches today. Will he be available tomorrow or even Tuesday? It's quite a load for a guy who's a setup man. We'll let Terry Collins worry about that. As Jonathan Papelbon faces Daniel Castro leading off the top of the 9th. One ball, one strike. Pitcher in the sun, a lot of shadows. Doesn't bother Castro, though, with a base hit to right. Top of the order now, and Nick Markakis has hit the ball on the button 3 out of 4 times today. Two for 3. Then against Papelbon, 6 for 21 career, 3 RBIs.
If you're wondering, okay, 4-run lead, is Jonathan Papelbon approaches any different? Sometimes closers have a different vibe to them when it's not a save opportunity. Forget that. He knows that, this is the season. And he doesn't care if it's a 2-run lead, a 6-run lead, or a 4-run lead. He's in there to do his thing. He's game on all the way. They're watching the scoreboard. They know what's going on. They heard the fans cheer.
Oh-2. Got him. Andy Fletcher thought about it. And then he punches out an unhappy Nick Markakis. 1 out.
Yeah, you nailed it when he said he thought about it. Very delayed strike 3 call here on the split from Papelbon at 85. Nick Markakis had a legitimate gripe. Nats will take it.
Jace Peterson next. 1 for 2 career against Papelbon. Ground ball to Desmond. Rendon turns it. It's a sweep in D.C. And the Nets, with 4 weeks to go, are only 4 back of the Mets.
Can change quick when you're just chasing one team. And the Nats playing as good as they played all season long. Sweep the Braves. Enjoy the ride, folks. Welcome to Pennant Race Baseball, and don't stop believing.
8-9-1 Washington, 4-7-3 Atlanta. The Nats are on a big-time roll, and they are 6 games over 500.